After studying some courses for a few months, in 1992 in December, I was fed up, so I packed up my little red car and I left town. I left Victoria to end up in California. There's a motel I stayed in at one point. I was on my way to the desert for the first time in my life, but first I had to get my car washed so that it would be clean. I was a little fussy about that, so we end up on the highway here heading down, I think somewhere in the Bay Area in California. It's been a while ago. And I end up in the trailer of a friend of mine who I met from the internet. We were looking at eucalyptus trees up in the hills there. I think it was around Topanga Canyon. And those highways, those freeways, there's like 8 lanes on each side going through the wilderness. And look at me. Did I ever look young here? I tell you, I'm right on the San Andreas Fault there. And there's a highway overpass somewhere in that area. Everything's big and wide and green. Over here at this time of year, it was December, remember, no leaves at all. And look at this, it's like summertime, even though it is kind of like wide open cityscape. Here we are, or here I am, heading into the desert with my little red car, and it was just amazing and stunning how beautiful and clear everything was. And there's some windmills on the hill for generating electricity. Like I said, this is the first time I had ever been in the desert in my entire life, so you can forgive me perhaps for taking a lot of pictures of nothing to see. Except maybe that little tree there, that looks like a desert tree on the side there. I think I goofed a little bit and put some of these pictures in twice. Oh well, for me I guess to see them twice is a good thing. Yes, I did put them in twice. I think I was drunk when I assembled these pictures. So over here I am at Father Crowley Lookout, which is just as you enter Death Valley. Don't you like my hat? So the road goes down and down and down into Death Valley, which is something like 200 feet below sea level, if not more. And it was a wild ride. I think I was going down that hill using compression in second gear all the way. The scenery is spectacular as long as you don't mind not having much vegetation and as long as you don't mind everything being dried out. So here I had already gone through Death Valley and ended up in Beatty, Nevada, where there's this motel that I've stayed in more than one occasion, and the Sourdough Saloon with its dirt floor and dogs and cats running through it at all hours of the day and night. This here is a ghost town called Rhyolite. It was a boom town about 100 years ago for gold mining, and I guess the boom busted and the thing dried up. But look, there are sample bags and core boxes, so somebody's doing some exploration, and I think mining there to this very day, however, very deep down underground. And there's another shot of my little red car in Rhyolite, Nevada. This, I think, was the jail or stockade or something. I can't read the top there what it says, but I think it said 1892, something like that. Well, yeah, the desert opens up in front of you and the sky is clear and blue. Not a cloud anywhere. That's just a little bit of haze from the sun. The sun is so bright that I guess I overexposed some of these pictures. You got to remember that I was using a 35mm single lens reflex camera at the time, and I didn't have anything digital. These are transposed from film, and the pictures are 20 years old, well, 17 years old, so some of them might be faded a bit. This is the 20 Mule train down in Death Valley, the Borax Works. You may have heard of that. If not, Google it. It's probably on the web somewhere. Look at me. I'm so young looking. This is at Zabriskie Point, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is, because these pictures are in order. There's some guy taking a picture of his girlfriend. I met these German tourists in a Volkswagen van, and they didn't understand me very well, but most people don't anyway. Look at this. Straight and wide and open. No traffic. Well, there's one car in the distance there. But this is the artist palette, or the painter's desert. I think it's called something like that. And as the sun moves on the rock changes color as you're watching. You can stay there all day and it never looks the same twice. It's quite a fascinating place. In fact, I can't wait to get there again. and it's only a few weeks until I'll be there. Look at me once again. I'm so young looking. These pictures are just amazing, and that sky is so incredibly blue. You don't see that over here. Here all you see is gray at this time of year, but down there it's clear and warm, and the way the sun shines, it's crisp, you know. There's less than 4% humidity in the air, so even if it's hot, it doesn't feel so hot, and when it's cold, it doesn't feel that cold either. Here we are down at Badwater. This is probably the lowest, I think it is the lowest elevation in North America, and this is it, just little 2-lane roads going through Death Valley. Beautiful. This is the Devil's Golf Course, I think they call it, or something like that. And please pardon the superfluous pictures of the desert. As you can imagine, this is the first time I'd ever seen this in my life, besides on TV and in pictures. And there's that painted desert again. Just lovely. I think here coming up is, yes, that spot on the bottom right of the picture is where the UFO landed and broke down, but I guess he got a boost or something and got lifted off. I'm trying to think of things to say. Oh, geology in action, look at that. There's a couple of faults and some bedding, and I just had to get 2 pictures of that because it was so fascinating. You rarely see that on the surface. And here we are heading towards Las Vegas, going east a little bit from the Amargosa Valley. And yeah, Las Vegas, you know, there's not really a lot to see there except buildings and cranes, and it's probably about 10 times the size now. Remember, this is 1992, and it's the fastest growing city in North America. So I just moved on from there because I'm not so much into cities when I'm taking vacations. We're heading towards Boulder City here and Lake Mead. Lake Mead is just amazing. The blue contrasted with the light brown of the desert is just breathtaking. These pictures do not do it justice whatsoever at all. It's an amazing place. I remember spending a week there one time, and it rained the whole time. And the Hoover Dam, naturally, right after Boulder City, Lake Mead, and I just thought I'd get some pictures there because I thought it was wild seeing a dam like that. Not the first time I'd seen a dam, but the first time I'd seen that dam. And it's quite impressive. On subsequent visits, I went down and took tours of it, and enjoyed it very much. We'll be passing through there again. Little did I know at the time that the Grand Canyon wasn't that far away. The end of my map stopped before Grand Canyon, and I was too lazy to get another one, so I had no idea where Grand Canyon was. Yeah. Geography major here. There we go. Yeah, God, was I looked so young in this, and I didn't have a beard at the time. Anyway, once again, lots of pictures of the desert, just boring, you know, sagebrush and yucca and just crappy weeds that grow on the side of the road. But to me, it was exciting to see all this kind of stuff. And I guess I headed down and burnt up all my film before I got down to Yuma, Arizona. So that from the Mexican border all the way back to British Columbia, I didn't take any more pictures because I had no film left. Remember, that was the days before SD cards and things that you could erase. Once it's on the film, it's on the film. Even these blurry ones where I'm speeding by and, you know, we got the last pictures at the sunset here, heading down into the south of Arizona. And the adventure continued after that, and I still love traveling down to the desert. Every time I go, there's something new and something interesting to see. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and have yourself a good day, evening, or morning. Bye.
Fehquig.
Fehquig. Fehquig. Fehquig. Fehquig.
Fehquig.